Let me paint you a picture. You're deep underground on an alien planet. It's pitch black. You can't see 5 feet in front of you. Your flare is dying. The bugs are coming from everywhere. Your teammate is screaming something about a giant spider. You're almost out of ammo. And then, from across the cave, you hear it. Rock and stone, brother! And somehow, against all odds, everything feels fine. That's Deep Rock Galactic. And in 2026, 6 years after its full release, 8 years after early access, with over 12,000 players still logging in every single day, this game refuses to die. In fact, it's more alive than most games that launched last month. So today, we're going back underground. We're reviewing Deep Rock Galactic in 2026 and figuring out why, in a world full of shiny new co-op shooters, battle royales, and live service nightmares, this scrappy little game about bearded space dwarves just keeps winning. Grab a beer from the Abyss Bar. Let's go. Deep Rock Galactic was developed by Ghost Ship Games, a tiny Danish studio, and published by Coffee Stain Publishing. It launched into Steam Early Access in 2018 and hit full release in May 2020. It's a 1 to 4 player co-op FPS, which stands for first-person shooter, set on a hostile alien planet called Hoxie's 4. The concept is deceptively simple. You and up to 3 friends play as space dwarves, miners working for the Deep Rock Galactic Corporation. Your job? Get dropped into dangerous procedurally generated underground cave systems, complete objectives, mine valuable minerals, and get back out alive. In that order. Mostly. The catch? The planet is absolutely infested with alien bugs. Thousands of them. Big ones, small ones, ones that spit acid, ones that burrow underground and explode under your feet. The corporation, and a lovely piece of dark corporate satire, makes it very clear that your lives are secondary to the resources you collect. Mission Control will tell you this mid-mission, completely deadpan, while you're being swarmed by 300 bugs. That contrast between corporate mundanity and absolute chaos is the heart of this game's personality, and it nails it. Let's talk about the world, because Deep Rock Galactic doesn't have a traditional story mode with cutscenes and dialogue trees, but it does have atmosphere, and that's worth more. The game is set on Hoxie's 4, described as the most mineral-rich planet ever discovered, and also the most deadly. The planet is located in the lawless Outer Rim. Every corporation that's tried to mine it has failed. Deep Rock Galactic sends dwarves because apparently dwarves are either brave enough or stubborn enough to survive where everyone else doesn't. Your home base is the Space Rig, an orbital station where you spawn between missions, and this place has more personality than the lobbies of 10 other games combined. There's the Abyss Bar, run by a robotic bartender named Lloyd, where you can order drinks that literally intoxicate your dwarf and send them stumbling around the station. There's a barrel-kicking minigame, a jukebox full of surprisingly good tracks, a memorial hall dedicated to fallen dwarves, a hidden canteen that you could only unlock by solving a secret puzzle. Your personal cabin has your name tag on the door. The lore is built through small details, text on screens around the rig, mission controls, sardonic one-liners, the flavor text in the miner's manual. Nobody sits you down and explains the mythology, you absorb it, and it works. And then there's Carl. Who is Carl? Nobody knows. Carl is a fallen dwarf, a legend. He's referenced in toasts, in battle cries, and the names of various items. The game never tells you who Carl is. The community has been debating it for years. It's one of the best running mysteries in gaming. Completely organic, never forced. This is where Deep Rock Galactic absolutely shines. The core gameplay loop is pick a mission, get dropped into a procedurally generated cave, complete your objective, call the extraction pod, and survive the final run to it. Sounds straightforward. It never is. Every cave you enter is completely different. The game has 13 biomes, from bioluminescent mushroom forests to crystalline caverns to scorched volcanic tunnels, and each one looks and plays differently. Enemies are different. Hazards are different. Some caves drip in acid. Some have swarms of electric bugs that fry your equipment. The procedural generation is so good that after hundreds of hours, experienced players still encounter layouts that feel handcrafted. The caves feel alive. Mission types keep the loop fresh. You've got mining expeditions, just find the mineral veins and fill your quota. Elimination missions, hunt and kill a specific giant creature. Egg collection, find and extract alien eggs from their nests before the hive wakes up. Escort duty, protect a massive drill called Doretta as she slowly carves through rock toward a target. Industrial sabotage, infiltrate a rival corporation's facility and blow it up. Each mission type has its own rhythm, its own tension, its own way of making things go spectacularly wrong. Difficulty comes in 5 hazard levels, plus optional modifiers that crank things up even further. Hazard 1 is basically a tutorial. Hazard 5 will genuinely test you. The game scales enemy count, health, and aggression, but it never feels cheap. When you die, it's usually because you made a mistake, not because the game cheated. And throughout all of this, you are never in control of the terrain. The terrain is a tool. Every wall, every ceiling, every floor. It's fully destructible. You mine through it, you tunnel through it, you shape it. Fell into a pit, drill a ramp. Can't reach a mineral vein, carve a staircase. A teammate went down in an inaccessible area, dig a hole and drop them a resupply. This is not a game where you fight through the environment, you fight with it. Deep dives are the endgame content. 3 interconnected missions back to back, where your team carries one shared pool of resources across all 3 stages. No resetting between, no mercy. Elite deep dives crank the difficulty even further and are the hardest content in the game. Completing them every week becomes a ritual for veteran players. 4 classes, each one completely distinct, each one necessary. This is where the co-op magic happens. The Scout is your mobility specialist. Armed with a grappling hook, the Scout can reach anywhere. The ceiling, sheer cliff faces, mineral veins that are completely inaccessible to everyone else. The Scout also carries the primary light flares, meaning your team literally needs the Scout to see in the dark. Fast, fragile, high-skill ceiling. The engineer is the team's architect. The engineer deploys platform guns that shoot glowing orange platforms onto any surface, walls, ceilings, the underside of a cliff. These platforms become the scaffolding your whole team uses. The engineer also deploys autonomous sentry turrets and carries a grenade launcher. Played well, an engineer transforms the cave into a fortress. The Driller is the most tactically creative class. The Driller carries a massive drill on each arm and can tunnel through rock in real time, carving escape routes, flanking paths, and shortcuts. Primary weapons include a flamethrower and a cryo cannon. The Driller is the one who carves that elegant staircase into a cliff face while their teammates are busy fighting, and then quietly salutes and says nothing. The Gunner is the walking armament. Minigun, heavy autocannon, a revolver that hits like a freight train. The Gunner also deploys zip lines, portable cable systems that let the entire team zip horizontally across massive caverns in seconds. Without a Gunner zipline, some cave layouts become genuinely impassable. None of these classes works as well alone as they do together. That's the design intent, and it's perfect. A good squad of 4 where each player knows their role feels like a well-oiled machine. A squad that doesn't communicate feels like 4 people drowning separately. The overclock system is the deep endgame layer. Overclocks are weapon modifications. Some are clean boosts, some are trade-offs, and some are unstable overclocks that completely change how a weapon works. Sticky Fuel turns her driller's flamethrower into an area denial weapon that coats surfaces and burning fuel. Lead Storm turns your minigun into a devastating stationary turret. Supercooling Chamber turns the Scout's rifle into the closest thing to a sniper rifle the game has. There are 160 plus overclocks across all 4 classes, and chasing them becomes its own obsession. Deep Rock Galactic doesn't try to be a photorealistic game. It has a stylized, chunky art direction. The dwarves look like cartoon bruisers. The bugs look like alien toys that want to murder you. And it works completely in its favor. The game is absolutely stunning in its cave environments. The bioluminescent crystalline caverns glow an electric blue and purple, with enormous crystal formations jutting from every surface. The fungus bogs are dense and claustrophobic, lit in eerie greens by glowing mushrooms. The glacial strata is cold and brutal, ice caves lit by pale blue light, with freezing jets that slow your movement. The Azure Weald is alien and dreamlike, with floating pods of glowing spores that drift through the air like slow-motion fireworks. Every biome has its own hazard. Radioactive exclusion zone caves have glowing gas pockets that explode if you shoot them. Hollow bow caves have vines that grab and pull you. Salt pits have explosive crystite deposits. The environments don't just look different, they play different. The audio design is something that rarely gets enough praise. Every enemy has a distinct sound. You hear Glyphid swarmers skittering before you see them. You hear a Praetorian's heavy footfalls from across a cavern. The sound of a stabber vine about to grab you has become hardwired into the brains of thousands of players who've survived that particular panic. The soundtrack is a mix of thumping rock tracks for combat and ambient, atmospheric pieces that make the caves feel genuinely vast and alien. And Mission Control's voice, equal parts corporate cheerleader and resigned cynic, is genuinely funny. The dry humor in his line delivery during moments of obvious catastrophe is a comedic highlight of the entire game. So where is Deep Rock Galactic in 2026? Season 6, Relics of Hoxie's, arrived in early 2026, developed in collaboration with Danish studio Invisible Walls. It brought the ossuary depths, a haunting new tomb-like biome littered with ancient bones and ruins. New enemies include the Ossuran Scrab, a small, fast scavenger that swarms in numbers, and the Ossuran Pitjaw, which is stealthier and significantly deadlier. A new mission type called Heavy Extraction tasks players with unearthing massive amber pieces by hand and attaching them to booster rockets for orbital pickup. It's chaotic, physical, and brilliant. And then there's the elephant in the cave, Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core. This is a standalone spin-off from Ghost Ship Games that's been in development for years, and it's finally launching in early access on May 20th, 2026. Rogue Core is a co-op roguelite set in the same universe. You play as elite reclaimers, not miners this time, investigating a mysterious blackout event called the Greyout. You start each mission with basic gear and build up weapons and abilities as you go. There are 5 brand new classes: Guardian, Spotter, Falconer, Slicer, and Retcon. It's the same DNA, but a completely different animal. And the community is electric about it. The franchise that started with one scrappy co-op game is now a universe. Here's where we land. Deep Rock Galactic is not a perfect game, but it is a complete one. It knows exactly what it is, it executes on that identity with extraordinary precision, and it respects the player at every turn. In 2026, when it feels like every live service game is trying to extract as much money from you as possible, Deep Rock Galactic is a reminder that games can just be good, fun, fair, generous, a place you want to bring your friends. It's still the best pure co-op shooter on the market. Better balanced than Helldivers 2, more refined than Warhammer Vermintide, more beginner-friendly than Left 4 Dead 2. Its procedural generation means no 2 runs are ever identical. Its class design means 4 different players can have 4 completely different experiences in the same mission. Its community is warm, its developer is trustworthy, and its price tag is a joke compared to what you get. If you've never played this game, buy it tonight. It's $30 and it goes on sale constantly. Bring a friend or just join a random lobby. Say rock and stone when prompted and get underground. If you played it years ago and dropped off, come back.
Season 6 is live, the ossuary depths are waiting, and Rogue Core drops in May. There's never been a better time to be a space dwarf. For Carl, for the mission, for the minerals, rock and stone.